One thing that I've really taken away from this is I went to Ohio State University, got a 4-year degree in business, and never second guessed spending like $60,000 on college. And you don't get any of this information at the college level. So there's one thing I could do, I would go back and tell people about this amazing opportunity.
I run 2 businesses, a physical yoga studio and now an online business. We took our list from 0 to 500 in just 1 month, which I was just blown away. We can only teach so many people and so many classes, so I thought, well, why not just film this and apply all the steps that Marketing Impact Academy has taught me. With a 2-day marketing lead-in, we made $7,000 in 1 week, and for me that was just amazing. Like, we tripled our income.
Last year I was working full-time as a waitress. Now I own a media company, and I truly believe I was able to start this business because of the Marketing Impact Academy. I bought the Marketing Impact Academy to learn what's new and what's working in marketing right now. And by learning how to build an online presence and how to actually find clients, I bought the Academy in March, and by September I quit my job as a waitress and did this full-time. And from September to now, I've doubled my income. So does the Marketing Impact Academy work? Yes, it does.
With Marketing Impact, no matter what your product is, whether it's maybe a thing you have to sell or a skill set or a training, you can plug and play. Marketing Impact is for everyone, all walks of life, all ages, all skill sets, all backgrounds.
Chalene teaches us exactly the tools to get it done and grow our businesses. It's so awesome.
Time is an issue. I get the opportunity to watch a video, take in a concept, then go and apply it, and then come back and do the next step, and that really works well for me. Had I been trying to do this on my own without the guidance, it would have taken so much longer for me to get to the point that I am.
I truly believe that when I think about how much my time is worth, MIA is going to pay back so quickly. I know it's definitely worth it.
I'm Tony Steele. I'm from Detroit, and now I live in Tennessee, and I own my own barbershop. She is everything I've seen. I don't know if I can say this, but a cool white girl from Detroit, and she's got a lot of soul and information. Just how she refers to them as your lifers, and barbers kind of like take their customers on for life. Most barbers, my dad passed knowing his barber to the end, so my customers are my lifers, so it just was very relevant for what my business does. Step out there. I took a leap of faith, and it's been everything I wanted, so I say take the step of faith.
I'm live. We're live. Are you here? Can you hear me? Keep those comments coming in the chat area so we know that you can hear me okay. My name is Chalene Johnson, and I want to ask you a question. Are you a little bit frustrated if you own a business, or maybe you are in a multi-level marketing organization, direct sales if you will. Maybe you have a physical business, or maybe you've started something to create passive income, but you question yourself. You wonder, is this what I'm supposed to be doing, because it's not making me sales, and I am working my tail off, and I'm doing everything that people say you're supposed to do. I think maybe I just need a bigger audience. Have you said that to yourself? I think I just need a bigger audience, or I need to reach more people, and if I do that, then I will have that success that'll give me affirmation that I'm doing the right thing. If that's you, stay tuned, because I'm going to share with you in specific detail the steps that most people leave out. And it's a shame, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm going to share all of that with you today for free. So why? It's actually not for free, because you're giving me your time. And I personally feel like there's nothing more valuable than time, so I have an obligation to you to deliver on that promise. And I also want to speak to those of you who are in a situation where, let's face it, to have a little bit more freedom would be nice. Financial freedom, right? Like, maybe you aren't really interested, or maybe you're not even at a place in your life right now where it makes sense to start a business. Like, you've got little kids, or you love your job, or you're a college student, you don't have the means, you think, to start a business. You're not even sure if you are all interested in being a leader. But yet, it's kind of obvious that there's some incredible opportunities online to make extra income, like passive income. And you keep hearing people talk about this and you're like, yeah, that sounds interesting. Like, who wouldn't that sound interesting to, right? I mean, who wouldn't go, yes, some extra income passively? No thanks, I've got plenty. I've got too much. I have too much passive income right now. I don't need any more. Thank you. No, that's like no one, pretty much. And so I want to speak to those two groups of people today. If you are one of those individuals, let me know, if you will, in the chat area, which one of those two types perhaps you identify with more. Someone who wants to start a business, just not sure if you've got the time, if you know what it should be or where to start, or if in fact you already have a business, it's just sometimes embarrassing to say you have a business because it's not making you the kind of money you'd hope for, and some days it feels a lot more like an unfulfilling job, even though you do have a business. So if you are one of those two types of individuals, I want to hear from you, because today I want to share with you the solution. Like, what do you do with this situation? You know, myself personally, and for those of you who don't know me, by the way, thanks for jumping on live. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your time today. My name is Chalene Johnson. Today I can say I'm a New York Times bestselling author. Today I can say I'm the creator of the Marketing Impact Academy, which is an online university where you learn everything you could ever possibly need to know about how to build a business in the shortest, fastest possible way. Today, not based on information or social media practices that were working 6 months ago, but like today, what you need to do. I'm the creator of the Marketing Impact Academy, and I also happen to be, quote unquote, a celebrity fitness personality, which I always feel weird saying that because it's like, to call yourself celebrity is weird, don't you think? It's like putting a picture of yourself up on a wall. But that's how people introduce me. And they introduce me that way because I do infomercials, right? And at present, I have an infomercial on TV that happens to be #1. It's the #1 fitness infomercial. And can I tell you something? I spent many years not being seen on TV for fitness infomercials. And it's because I think I didn't have much of an opportunity to be involved in that process. You know, I partner with an amazing company called Beachbody, but that's not my business. My business is teaching entrepreneurs. But I had this company where I create fitness infomercials for them, and my shows weren't working. This year, I went to Beachbody, and I kind of felt like, I don't know how to say this, but the one that they kept trying to make something work with, and it just wasn't working. And they've spent a fortune testing and trying to get my infomercials to work. Now, granted, I had some successful infomercials. I had a #1 infomercial in 2005, and I've had a few spikes here and there over the last 10 years, but nothing that was exciting to write home about, nothing that put me back in front of viewers. So I talked to Beachbody this fall, and I said, listen, can I just use my iPhone? And instead of hiring a bunch of fancy people and a bunch of fancy directors and special lighting and a crew, can I just talk to people from my iPhone? And guess what? It won't cost you anything, because at this point I'm feeling like I feel guilty. I feel bad that I have to even talk them into giving me one more shot, because what I've been doing, even though I've been working my butt off, it hasn't been working. And then you start to question, are other people questioning how hard I'm working at this? Have you ever had that happen where it's like you're trying really hard and you don't want people to think that you're slacking and that you don't have the work ethic because you've been putting in the work, it's just not working? That's how I felt. And so what I decided to do was to propose to Beachbody that I actually use the same principles for fitness infomercials that I've already used to 10x, to increase our own business at Team Johnson by 600%. It's what I teach my students how to do. So it's just like, duh, why wouldn't I talk to Beachbody? I love these guys. Why wouldn't I just convince them to give me a shot? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong that this doesn't work on TV. But, if there's no cost, if it's just me and my iPhone, and an app that I can download for about $1 to edit the video, what do they have to lose? So that's what I did. And if you have seen this infomercial, you know what I'm talking about. It's me filmed in my bathroom, in my bedroom, in my car, at work, and it's me on my friggin' iPhone. There's nothing special about it, but there's something very special about it. The something very special about it is the piece that most people won't pick up when they watch it, but my students do, because there's a formula. And the formula, the ingredients, the order in which you do things is freaking everything. You see, so if you watch what someone else is doing and you're like, oh, I get it, so what you're saying is, the reason why this works is because you went live on an iPhone. Partly. But there's ingredients. There's a specific order in which you talk to your audience with honesty and integrity. There's understanding initially that you have to know who you're talking to and what words they want to hear. And instead of assuming who you're supposed to be marketing to or assuming what they want to hear, you need to know those things. You need to know what words speak to them and what words, frankly, turn them off and make people feel like you are selling. I don't know about you, but I don't like selling. I don't. But I'm an incredible saleswoman. Do you know why? Because I freaking love helping people. And I hate seeing people waste money. And I don't care what it is. I don't care whether it's wasting money on a cheap blender or wasting money on something that's going to take up so much of your time and effort. I just can't help it, even when people haven't asked for my opinion. I can't help but see when somebody is about to waste time and money and just give my opinion. And that's what I like to call being an educator. I like to help people. And I think if you figure out the right way to help people, you'll be really, really good at sales without ever having to sell. You know, some of you jumped on today before I sat down the seat because we were putting props behind me. That's the real reason why, because I was like, it's just a wall. Let's put some stuff back there so it's at least kind of interesting to look at. We're in my gym right now. We're filming this live in my gym. But anyways, when I first started filming today, or just as you jumped on, you might have seen some of the stories of students who have gone through my online training course. It's called the Marketing Impact Academy. And the reason why I showcase my students is a couple reasons. Number one is I want you to know about them because they're amazing. So I want to give them that platform. I want to showcase them. I want to showcase you. You'll be my student, and at some point, I want the world to be able to see your business and your story. And I want to give you that opportunity. That's number one. Number two is I can tell you that what I teach is the right steps in the right order, in the most simplistic, fastest, most direct possible way to increase your business and to make money and to have that freedom. I can tell you that, but it's kind of like it doesn't have the same power and believability as when you hear it from somebody else. For example, when you're interested in something and you look up to see the website and to find out what they say about the product, no matter what they say about the product, if there's reviews and the reviews are negative, are you buying it? Probably not. Why? Because we want to believe authenticity. We want to believe what other people have to say before we're going to believe you. So that's what, write this down. Take some notes today, because if you're in business already, take some notes, people, because you shouldn't be selling. You should be honoring your students, your customers, and their experiences, and let them tell other people how great it is. That is a mistake. If you're trying to sell something to people, if you're trying to tell people about, you are trying to tell people about all the features and the benefits, you're selling. You don't need to do that anymore. You just explain how you can help people, and then let your results speak for themselves. That's old school selling, is when you're telling people how much things cost, and I think it's the greatest, and that's uncomfortable. Like, not very many people love doing that, except for the guy that we just bought Brett's car from. I think that guy likes selling, but he was also super annoying. I walked out like 2 times. I'm like, buddy, you are bugging me with a capital B right now, because you're selling, and you're also too tan. I digress. I apologize if you could hear me swallowing that water. That's a pet peeve of mine. I hate it when I can hear people swallowing water. So I apologize, but I have to stay hydrated. So that's something I want you to write down is you've got to start collecting testimonials. Are you in an MLM? Have you helped somebody to find their passion or their purpose, or maybe just to create a little extra income? Okay, reach out to them. Ask them to send you an email explaining how you have helped them, because anybody can sign up for that MLM. I want to know, what is it about working with you that's going to make the difference? Now, a lot of people call these testimonials. I don't think of them as testimonials. I think of them as opportunities to allow my students to tell their story. Because in doing that, I help the student, right? For in your case, it might be helping your downline or helping your customer or helping your best learners, the people who apply this stuff. You're helping them by exposing them to your platform, and you're also helping other people, because sometimes we don't hear the person who created the thing. It's not until we hear someone who's a lot like us, who said, yeah, I did the Marketing Impact Academy, and it changed my business. That's so much more powerful than actually hearing from the person who created it, because obviously you love what you do. Let's write that down, and I want you to reach out today. See, here's your first, like you've only been watching for a couple of minutes, and this one tip could make such a huge difference in your ability to start helping more people and in the process having sales without having to sell. So write that down. Now, there's a very specific way to formulate a testimonial, a formula for a testimonial. But I don't want you to worry about that now, because even if you mess up the formula, you'll still have a boost in your sales. You'll still have a boost in your business. Once you know the formula, we can 10x it, but just the mere fact that you're going to ask people out there to just send you a quick email and let you know what they enjoy about working with you, or how your business has helped them, or how your product or your service or whatever it is that they're using that you offer, how it has helped them. Because I think what most people do when we start a business, and for those of you who haven't yet started a business, stay with me, because I'm going to talk to you about what you do first. But I know there's a big group of you out there who you've started, right? You've either started by maybe doing some direct sales, you own a small business, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you are in a service type business. You started, but yet you question how smart the idea was to start a business, because you're working more than you ever worked in your life. And you'd never get to unplug from the problems of it, and there's just not enough hours in the day, and it feels like you're doing all of the work and it's just not paying off the way you'd hoped it would. I want you to know you're not crazy, and you're also not lazy. I also want you to know that hustling more is such BS. I'm about to get up on my soapbox right now. I'm so sick of that message. That is a message that all that does is tie you to the people who keep saying it. And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a good creed. Hustle more. That's it. I've got to hustle more. I need to work more, and I need to never see my family, and I need to distance myself from my spouse, and I need to never look up from my freaking phone, and I need to kill myself and have burn out adrenal glands. And that's what I'm supposed to do, because that's what you do when you start a business. No. Well, actually, that's what a lot of people do. But it's not the right way. It's not the fastest way. It's not the easiest way, and it's not the most lucrative way. It's the old school way. And if you look at people who do that, they have to hustle for about 5 more years than people who figure out that there are no shortcuts, but there's a faster way. And the faster way is to learn directly from an expert who's done it themselves. The old school way is to go, I can figure this out. I know what I'll do. I'll learn to code. I know what I'll do. I'll figure out how to do the bookkeeping and the accounting. I know what I'll do. I'll spend the next 5 days trying to figure out Facebook ads myself. And then I know what I'll waste hundreds and hundreds of dollars running ads trying to figure out something, when there's an expert who will break this down step by step and show me the pitfalls to avoid. Like, that's the truth of the matter. I mean, do they both work? Yes. But one is going to destroy your health, destroy your confidence, probably destroy most of your relationships, and frankly, in my opinion, destroy your life. I want no part of a life where I can't breathe, where I can't enjoy the fruits of my labors. I want no part of a life where at 60 years old, I look like I'm 80. I don't want that life. I want a life where I have a lot more freedom. And you want freedom. That's why you're watching this. It's why you started something. It's why you got into something. It's because you wanted freedom. And now here you are, ironically, with none of that. Because you're spending all of your time thinking that you need to build a bigger social media following. And that hasn't resulted in bigger sales, has it? Because you've missed some of the very first steps, the foundational steps, the things that are a mission for me to get the word out, to teach people, to pull them back off of social media and say, not today. This is what you shouldn't be focusing on, is building yet another social media platform. I'm gonna help you do that, but it doesn't make sense to do that until you've got sales. And the way that we can get sales today is so much faster than what we used to do. Now, if you've watched my previous video, you know what I'm talking about. I call it a baby offer. But I've also heard from a lot of you this week in social media, they're like, I don't know if I really understand what a baby offer is if I already have a business. A baby offer is simply recognizing that the opportunity, please write that word down in all caps, the opportunity to have sales now is so much faster and easier and more direct than it ever has been in the history of the internet. Right now, and it won't last long, and it's because of this live video. I mean, until recently, you had to hope that you landed yourself an infomercial deal, or that you could afford a huge production team to go live and broadcast to hundreds of thousands of people. You'd have to rent time on a cable station. Now you can freaking do it for free. It won't be long, though. I mean, eventually the Fortune 500 companies are going to figure out that this is like unbelievable. And they'll go, hey, maybe we should stop spending $1 million on ads for fill in the blank product, and we should just go live because everybody's on this anyways. It's not going to be long. So the opportunity is huge, but the opportunity is limited in time. There's an urgency to this. It'll change and it'll still be good, but it's definitely going to change. Right now, it's like crazy good. Like, we're going to look back on this moment and go, why did I not do that? And the opportunity for you is immediate sales. It's following a formula when you go live that follows the infomercial formula. The infomercial formula that once I applied it to doing a fitness infomercial, we're back to number one. I haven't been number one in an infomercial since 2005. That's the truth. It's because this formula works online, on TV, on a stage, but most importantly, it works for you because you have the ability to go live on Instagram, on Facebook, Snapchat, on YouTube. You can do it on your own platform like I am right now. But once you do that, you have to know how you take someone from being able to spend a moment with you live on camera, which is what we're doing right now. You set and position yourself so that people understand how your expertise relates to what it is you're talking about today. So far, check, check, check. I've already done that for you, right? So when I started today, I told you what I was going to teach you, these steps. I positioned myself. I didn't talk about all of my experience in designing group exercise classes for fitness instructors. I told you specifically about my expertise in teaching entrepreneurs how to do this. Understand this formula. And then I'm going to teach it, which is what I'm doing right now. When you go live, you have an opportunity to help people know you. If you don't show up, if you don't show, no one's going to know. And so I hear from entrepreneurs all the time, they say, I don't know how often to go live. And when I go live, I don't know, am I selling every time? No. You're following the formula that we teach in the Marketing Impact Academy. And you don't go live and sell every time. But when you do go live, if you follow this formula, people know you. And once you know someone, you can decide if you like them. And the reason why we usually like or dislike someone, though, there's a lot of reasons, right? Sometimes it's like somebody rubs us the wrong way. I often, if I don't like someone, it's usually because I feel like there's something, like they either have an ulterior motive, number one, or I usually don't like someone if I think they're being phony, like it's bogus, and I really don't like it when people lie. That's another big one for me. Like that integrity is huge, because you can't get that back. And that kind of leads me to my next point, which is trust. So every time you have the opportunity to go live, which this is all different. See, in social media, it used to be like, oh, you know, I post a picture of myself and I can Photoshop away all my wrinkles, and then you can like get to know me because I'll write something really profound underneath this Photoshop picture of myself, right? And that takes a really long time. But yeah, you do get to know people that way, obviously, right? Because maybe some of you watching this right now have been following me in social media for so long before live. But when you're on video, it's like an immediate ability to like look at someone's facial expressions and the way they talk and the way they hold themselves. And are they reading from a teleprompter or are they speaking from their heart? Is this something they truly, truly know and they're passionate about and they're not like looking for the perfect words, blah, 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 but it's legit, it's authentic, right? And we look for that, and we look for that to decide, okay, do I like this person? Do I trust them? Because it goes no, like, do I like them? Trust. And have you ever bought something from someone you don't trust? Only if you had to. But most of us, most consumers, have choice. So they don't have to join the MLM that you represent just because of you, especially if they don't trust you. And they don't have to join your gym if they don't really trust the owner or the person at the front desk. And they don't have to buy from you or support whatever cause it is that you're speaking about. They don't have to believe that your knowledge will really make a difference for them and can help them in a profound way, that it has an impact on them. They don't have, and they're not going to take action if they don't, on some level, trust you. And trust isn't always just about like integrity or like, oh, that person's super slimy. Sometimes there are people that we don't trust because we can tell they lack confidence. And confidence comes from just doing this, like just, you know, talking to people. But that's why things have changed, because now you have the ability to do your own infomercial for free every time you go live. But you have to have something to offer during that live broadcast. Today, I mean, I'm going to be very transparent about it. Today, what I offer to you is the opportunity to join the Marketing Impact Academy. That's why I'm going live. You have a chance to get to know me, to figure out, do I like this girl? Like, is what she's saying, is this the way I speak? Is this the way I learn? Is this a problem I'm having? And then you can decide from spending time with me live. You will decide today that you either trust me or you don't. And if you don't trust me, there's no way in hell you're going to take that next step. You have to trust someone. And that's the process that has been sped up through live video. It's what I call a baby offer. And the thing that you offer can be anything, but it should be something small, something that people, the very first time they see you, they understand, okay, I can get behind that, you know? And I've shown so many examples, if you've watched my previous video, but I still heard from people who are like, you know, what if I'm in an MLM and what I'm trying to get people to do is to sign up to be a distributor? How do I do that in a single broadcast? Probably not. You should probably start with a baby offer where you're saying, hey guys, I want to tell you about, and you follow this exact formula that we teach you, and you offer people something that isn't perhaps scary, or it's a first step. And the reason why I have you do this is because I know most people have to do this in progression. Like if I told you to go live and offer people your $5,000 consultation, you're probably going to be pretty reluctant to do that. You're going to feel like you don't have the credibility yet, that you haven't built up the trust with your audience. But if I told you to go live and say, you know, talk to people about how amazing your water bottle is and why. Anytime you see me, if you follow me on Snapchat especially, or Instagram Live, I have this A bottle with me at all times, usually one of 4 or 5 different colors. And I always carry one of these bottles with me. I'm just giving you an example, by the way. I'm not going to be selling this, but I could, is my point. So if I always have this with me, and you know the story behind why I do, which I'll tell you right now, the reason why I always have a different colored bottle with me is because it's my goal every day. You didn't know you were going to get a health lesson. It's my goal every day to have 4 of these. They're about 25 ounces. But when I just have one bottle, I would forget, okay, have I had one of these? Or is this my second one or my third one today? I couldn't remember. I can't remember where I've parked half the time. So how was I going to remember how many times I filled up my water bottle? And then I'd be like, oh, it's kind of getting warm. And I'd fill it back up. And I'm like, well, now does that mean I've had 2 or have I had 1.5? So I developed the system, and it's very simple. I'll explain it to you. I bought 4 bottles. I fill up all 4 in the morning. I keep the other 3 in the fridge or wherever because they're insulated. And then when I'm done with this one, I go to the next color. And then I'm never trying to figure out, okay, how many bottles have I had today? Because when all 4 are done, all 4 are done. Now, if I told you that, right, and I said to you guys, I love this brand because they have cute colors. And I love this brand because it keeps my water cold. And I love this, I like holding, if I told you all the reasons why I love this bottle, this could be a baby offer. Now, let's just say hypothetically, you're into health and fitness. And you're like, well, but I'm in a multi-level marketing organization, and I think I can only talk about my special shake or our special supplements. We don't trust you if all you're ever talking about is your product. That's why I have such incredible trust with my audience, because I'm not going to talk to you about my product. I'm going to talk to you every day I go live about whatever is making my life easier. And that's it. That is my only prerequisite. I will only talk about things that make my life easier, and I don't care if I have any affiliation with it or not. If I think it's going to make your life easier, I'm going to tell you about it. So imagine now for a moment that you want to help people adopt a healthier lifestyle. Instead of beating them over the head with the same freaking product that everybody else who sells your product is beating them over the head with, why don't you just start by offering them something that you love? Importing these bottles. Do you know you can do that? You can import your own water bottle? Yeah, that's a baby offer. Put your own logo on it, or put, 1 of 4. Maybe you sell them in a 4-pack and they're multicolored. Maybe you take my idea and you run with it. God bless you. I'm filled with ideas. So many so that I love sharing these kinds of ideas inside the Marketing Impact Academy, because that's what happens when you're around creative people. But imagine if that's what you did. This would be a baby offer. Now, let's say I'm your customer and I bought the 4-bottle system from you. I didn't even know that you were in a multi-level marketing organization. I didn't even know it. But that one tip and buying those bottles from you has changed my health. I was that person who would never drink enough water, and now I'm drinking so much water, and I can see the clarity in my skin, and I've got so much more energy, and I'm eating less. Oh my God. Buying those bottles from you, I lost weight. So now, do I trust you? Hell yeah. Not only do I trust you, I freaking love you. Because I know you're just not trying to sell me one stupid thing that everybody else is trying to sell me. I know that you are about my well-being. And that's a baby offer. It's, so just dial this back. I'm asking you to think about the way we build a business that is so different from what you've been taught. Because what you've probably been taught is to sell and push your product. And I'm here to tell you, what you need to do is go live and help people. This is helping people. And when you help people, a lot of times you don't even have to sell. People will say, where can I get that? And you'll have sales. And when someone buys something from you, that's very different from getting something from you for free. Because free doesn't have much power anymore, does it? Well, I can see some of the comments coming in now. This is awesome. Guys, I hope that I'd love to hear if that made sense to you. I love seeing that you guys are loving this. This is great. But what if you don't have a business, right? What if you're like, that sounds cool, but I don't even know where to start, A, and B, I don't really know if I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't know if I should quit my job. I'm going to tell you, if you have a job right now and you love it, I don't want you to quit it. If you are a stay-at-home mom with small children, I'm telling you, I beg of you to make them your priority. But by doing so, you're going to need more freedom, and you need to be a less stressed mom, which means you need more money. There's no way around it. I mean, that's just where we are today. You're a better person. You are easier to be around with. You are happier. All things improve. Your sex life improves, your happiness improves, your weight improves. All of these things improve when stress goes down, and there is no greater cause of stress than being short on funds. So I'm going to talk to those of you who are trying to figure out, maybe you already have an MLM or you've got your own business, but you're not quite sure what type of thing you could offer as a baby offer, or maybe you don't have a business, but it'd be kind of interesting to hear about things that you could offer for sale, right? Just maybe every time you go live or in social media, to just start generating some extra income, some passive income on the side, like a couple of hours, not like a full-blown, I've got 25 employees business. You're not looking to be on the cover of Forbes magazine, but it would be nice not to have to stress about paying for your vacation this year. That's what I want to cover next. But before I do, I want to share with you one of those folks whose story I think is so inspirational. This is Jessica. And I want you to check this young lady out, because her story is really going to inspire you. And I want you to see yourself in her story.
I was a personal trainer. I had a studio in my basement that I had created, so I was instructing, I was teaching, I was trying to run my online business. Anything I could do to make money, I just thought it's just what you had to do. I got to this point where my business just came to a halt. I didn't have structure. Like, what is the first step? Where do I need to go? It was frustrating, and I honestly just wanted to give up. A friend of mine was like, why don't you come to Marketing Impact Academy, or why don't you at least buy the program? And so I was like, okay. For me, when I bought the program, it was like kind of a godsend, because then I was no longer stuck, and I had a new avenue to reach people and to be able to connect with people on a different level, that on the things that I was passionate about. I'm no longer identified by a rank or a title. For so long, I thought that's what I had to do to be successful. When it came to investing in this program, I finally felt free in that area. Chalene allows you to just be that person. When I bought Marketing Impact Academy, the structure began. Like, this is how a business should run. This is how I should lay the foundation of my business. So I was in my health and fitness business for 4 years. So when I started Market Impact, that year, I added as many people as in the 4 years. And so that was a huge eye-opener for me, because I got rid of all the other junk. I was trying to do it all. Market Impact gave me the freedom and more income because of the fact that I just stopped trying to pretend, and I just brought myself into my business, and I started to connect with the people that I needed to connect with. She gives you the tools, but she gives you the creativity. She allows you to bring your creativity to the table. You're questioning if your business is supposed to be successful, or if this is, what God wants you to do. That was me. And I bought Marketing Impact Academy, and it changed me. I truly believe that you're here for a purpose, and you're here because you want answers for your business. And you might be at a sticking point in your business, and you're just unsure if you should do it, or if it's the right step, or if you should just quit your business, or if you should go a different avenue in your business, or if you need structure, and you're just trying to figure out answers. Or you're here because out of curiosity and you want to start a business. Then you're here because you have this passion inside of you that you're just waiting to release. And I say go for it. I say go for it. You're gonna learn a lot about yourself, and it's gonna challenge you, and it's gonna push you to new levels, and it's all good stuff. You don't have to be this cookie cutter entrepreneur, and you don't have to be the next star or the next celebrity, but you can make an influence in your inner circle with where you are, with what you have right now.
Awesome. Thanks so much for spending a moment watching Jessica's story. I think it's so common, right? Like, maybe you're not in a multi-level marketing organization, which you don't have to be. You don't have to be in any business. In fact, if you don't even know for sure what it is you want to do, and you're wondering if the Marketing Impact Academy is right for you, I would say yes, because you're actually starting with a clean slate. But someone like Jessica, to have already started a business, and then in just the time that she started with Marketing Impact Academy, in that year to have increased her business more so than what she did in the first 4 years at that, and grinding it and just feeling really unhappy and wondering if it was right for her. And now I think she would agree that she's figured out how to find her passion and to feel like she's living his purpose, and still do what she was doing and make it bigger, right? I think for so many people, they think, I don't know if this is my purpose and my passion. And that's because what you're taught in most, sales trainings is that you're supposed to sell, and you just toe the marketing message that the company offers to you. And that doesn't feel very authentic. It doesn't feel like you're living your purpose. It doesn't feel like you're serving in the way that you want to serve. And I love Jessica's story because she demonstrates that it wasn't the wrong company. It was the wrong way of doing things. And so I wanted to answer a question. Barbara, by design, I saw your question here in the comments, and thank you, you guys. Keep those questions coming. I love them. It means you're really paying attention. This is great. But Barbara, by design, asks, when does the Marketing Impact Academy start? Immediately. So for those of you who've seen enough and you don't want to miss out on the opportunity, because maybe you missed it last year, which I heard from like 20 people yesterday on Snapchat, that they missed it last year. I'm like, well, don't do that again, because we never know when we're going to close. We take a certain number of students and we limit that because we've got to get into the academy. I like to actually make sure that the experience is very personal, that you actually can interact with fellow students, that when we go through beta testing, which I'll talk to you about, you're actually getting real feedback and you don't just get lost in comments. And the only way we can do that is by limiting it. That's why when we close registration, we legit close registration and we don't open it back up again. So it's open immediately. If you've heard enough and you don't want to have this be another year that you've missed the opportunity, then the video that I'm doing right now, you'll find it later inside your academy. But go right now and get yourself registered so you don't miss that window of opportunity. And for, I missed that last, Rhonda. Rhonda asked, what is this? Which is a great question. What is the Marketing Impact Academy? Is this Instagram Impact? No, it is not. This is the best way I can describe this for you is this is my heartfelt need, passion to create something that I know I needed when I didn't know how to build an online business. I just knew how to do what everyone else is doing, which is go around and around in circles in social media. So once I started doing the training and going to seminars and paying for online courses and paying to meet with consultants and experts and reading books and listening to podcasts, at every turn I felt like, wow, this is awesome, but there's like 5 other things I didn't learn and I need to learn before I can actually do this. Like I did a Facebook training and figured out how to run Facebook ads, but I didn't have anything to sell. It's understanding from my own perspective that I spent a lot of extra time and money, especially time, trying to figure out something because there was no map. There was no place for me to go that could say, like when you go meet with your academic counselor, if you're a college student, they say, okay, you're going to start with the 101, and then you're going to take your general education credits, and then you kind of know, like, okay, cool, by my 4th year, I'll be learning the things I need to learn because I will have already understood the things that were foundational. Well, nobody teaches that. It wasn't available anywhere when it comes to building an online business. In fact, I looked at going back to school to get my MBA, and even those courses, I'm like, none of this stuff really seems applicable to the real world, and I want to know real world. So once I finished that education on my own, I decided to create something that would save everybody else a whole heck of a lot of time, and that is the Marketing Impact Academy. It's everything you need to learn, but in the right order. And where is that? Tell me. Because I don't think it exists. I think what exists is a lot of motivation and a lot of things that work, but in the wrong order, which just leads you to go back to that person and need to buy something more from them or pay for another training or another seminar. This is all of the right steps in the right order. Because people will be successful in their business. If they don't do a course like this, they will, but they'll stall. They'll figure out how to get some of these pieces moving, then they're like, I don't understand, it's not selling the way it should be, or I'm stuck, I'm not getting my same reach on Facebook, so now what do I do? You're gonna get stuck if you leave out a key piece of the foundation of building an online business, or passive income, if you will. And this process is the same, whether you're doing this just to have a little extra income, or you really wanna 10x your business and stop working so hard. This is an online course. When you ask what this is, I'm like, that's a beautiful question. It's what I would ask. What does that mean? It means it's me and you. We're learning. You're going to learn from me. You'll sit down at your laptop or on your iPhone or smartphone the next time you've got a half hour to kill or 20 minutes, and I'm going to teach you everything I need to know in the right order. It's an online, think of it as like going back to school, but like the only university that actually teaches you how to build an online business, because this changes all the time. And most curriculum in other courses or through universities, the curriculum doesn't change. And you already know this, the curriculum changes all the time in this marketplace. Like a baby offer, people aren't teaching that because they don't even know. They haven't even figured it out yet. I start by teaching you the foundational pieces. The very first thing that I teach when you're in MIA, you ready for this? Get excited. Get excited, because those of you who've just joined, you get to dessert up front. And it took me a while to figure this out. At first, I would teach everybody out the foundational pieces, and that's kind of, it's, some of that stuff is, you got to get through it, because you want to get to the good stuff. You're like, yeah, okay, but when am I going to make money? Okay, but when am I going to make money? So then, what we discovered, once live video went mainstream and everybody had access to it, then what I was able to do is recreate the Marketing Impact Academy so that your very first lesson I call a quick cash bonus. And what that means is you learn, and there's a reason why. There's a very important psychological benefit to going through this piece first. The very first thing I teach you to do is sell something online. And how. How to set up a free website. You don't even have to buy a domain name. How to pick a product or become an affiliate for something that you already love and start making sales. Not the kind of sales that are going to pay your mortgage, but start making money immediately, like within the first 72 hours. If you follow the steps in the very first lesson, you'll start making money. Now, it might not be enough for you to quit your job, but here's why it matters. Especially for those of you who've never created something of your own, right? You've either sold somebody else's product, or you've worked for somebody else, or you've been a rep for something else. When you wake up in the morning and you see in your inbox a notification that somebody you don't know has bought something from you while you were sleeping, that's an instant confidence boost. It freaks people out. That's when things change. Am I right or am I right? Because I have a whole bunch of students here right now. They will tell you. It's funny because, even something so small, you're like, oh, someone bought that. It's like $5.99. You're like, oh my God. And they're in Switzerland. This is so exciting. And that is powerful. And people need that. You know why? Because probably all your life, you've been hearing the message in your head or from a well-meaning parent that wasn't possible, or that you probably wouldn't be able to figure that out, or that you aren't good enough, or that you need to do things right and you never do things right and you've got to be more perfect. And so by doing this first in the Marketing Impact Academy, we silence that little voice inside your head that thinks, well, maybe I can't do this. And then we start teaching you what it means to truly understand who you should be marketing to. Because I find that at least 75% of my students are marketing to the wrong people. They're using the wrong words. They're trying to market to people who don't know they have a problem and they don't want the thing that you're offering. And you're pulling your hair out because you're like, everybody needs this. I don't understand. It's amazing. How are the people who I'm marketing this to, how are they not tripping over themselves to buy this? Well, because you're probably marketing to the wrong people. And I'm going to help you identify that. It's what I call a lifer. I know my lifers, and I'm going to teach you to identify your lifers and to know who they are, where they are, how much money they have to spend, and also to figure out if you've been targeting the wrong lifers. Because that happens a lot too. And just by having a little tweak in the way that you speak to people, just by changing a few words, you can make a huge, I'm not kidding, like a 50% immediate difference without changing anything else, just a few words. Just a few simple words by knowing what he or she wants to hear. And that's part of what I like to call attraction marketing. That's a whole lesson. So each one of these is an online lesson. Once you join, which you'll have immediate access today, assuming you don't miss this, assuming you do this before we fill up, because we always do. We always sell out. Once you do that, you'll start learning the lessons. You can go through them on your own calendar, at your own convenience, at your desk, at lunch, in the morning while you're getting ready, while you're in the shower, on your schedule when it's convenient for you. But each one of these that I'm going through is a series of lessons. And most of them are accompanied by a worksheet, because there's one thing to listen to me today, and I think probably most of you are smart and you're learners and you're kind of obsessed with this stuff. Anyways, I would assume that's why you're watching this right now. But there's a big difference between actually filling out a form and a questionnaire and filling out the homework as I go through the lesson, because now it's not just me getting you hype about something. There's actionable steps and information for you to take action on that relate to your business. Not just oh, dude, that's legit. That doesn't do you any good. I'm not here to motivate you. I know you are plenty motivated. I'm here to get you to start. You know what the difference between successful people and people who are not successful? I'll tell you. It's one thing. They start. Successful people start. It's not perfect. It's ugly. It's messy. They have self-doubt. They question themselves. They do it all wrong. But they freaking start, and they're successful. And the people who will never be successful are the people who never start. It's a pet peeve. Can you tell? It is such a pet peeve. You know why it makes me so mad? Because I think your parents did it to you. I think your parents did you wrong by making you believe everything had to be perfect, and that things were never just quite good enough, and that you could never please them, and you weren't going to measure up. And I think they did a number on you. So if I could be for a moment your surrogate mom and tell you, just freaking start, make a mess of it, do it crappy. But if you start, you'll be successful, and if you don't, you will never, ever be successful. You can't not start and be successful. It's impossible. I wish I could say that you could. It's impossible. And so the people who say to me, I really want to do something like this, Chalene, I want to do something like this, but I don't have the money right now. I want to do something like this right now, but I just don't know what it would be. To that I'm like, who does have the money laying around in a pile to make an investment? If you want your kid to go to school, right? If your kid gets into a prestigious university and it's going to cost you $50,000, do you think there's any parents who are like, oh, we've got that right here, son. Here you go. No, you make it happen because you see the opportunity for your child. Well, at least you've been brainwashed into thinking that's an opportunity for your child. Hopefully you don't send them to school to learn anything about business. Allow me to save you about $200,000. If you got a kid that wants to go learn business, put them in the Marketing Impact Academy. Mark my words. Mark my words. They will learn far more here than they ever would in 6 years. An underdegree graduate, as well as an MBA, they won't learn any of this stuff. And if they do, it'll be so outdated by the time it's printed in a book. But that's the difference, is people make excuses. So they say, I don't have the money right now. I just don't know what it would be. Freaking start. If you want your life to change, you see the opportunity and you act on it. And there's fear. And there's a pit in the bottom of your stomach, but you know I'm calling you out. And you know you are meant for greatness. Or you know you're not. Or you know what? This is how my life is going to look for the rest of my life. You're right. It is. Because you've decided it is. But you're 1,000% right. And if there's a little inside of you, a little tiny voice that says, maybe I could do this, but I'm freaking scared, listen to that voice. Because I'm going to walk you through every step of this. You'll understand who your lifer is. You'll understand how to attract them in social media, the right words, how to even title your Facebook Lives, how to post on Pinterest or Twitter, all of the different social media, so it actually drives business, drives traffic back to your website. I'm going to teach you everything I know about live video and how to make an impact on that. And then I'm going to teach you something that most people don't. And that is why it's so essential you have an email list. Because most of you are here right now watching this because you got an email from me, right? Maybe you don't follow me on Facebook every day, but you got an email from me because I serve my audience via email. I don't know if Facebook's going to go away or Instagram's going to go away or if they're going to change an algorithm and suddenly my stuff isn't being seen. I mean, it happens to me all the time. I got to figure it out because it's my job to explain to you why it's happening. I got to figure it out before anyone else does, but it still happens. It's still a frustration. But what I always have is my email list. And I'm going to teach you how with zero money, a big zero, you can start building your email list, and you need to today. You want to be a New York Times bestselling author? You want to just sell a book? You want to have passive income? You want to reach people when the algorithms change on your Facebook wall? You need an email list, and it's free. You just need to know how to avoid doing it the wrong way, and then what you do with people's emails once you have them. Like, how do you respond to them? What do you say? How often do you email them? What's the number one subject line that people open? Well, can I tell you? I'm going to give you one special, awesome tip right now, okay? If you already have an email list, this little nugget right here is worth the price of admission. The one email address that everybody opens is the same one you're going to open today after you register to join the Marketing Impact Academy. You're going to be looking for this email. You're going to be hunting for it. You're going to actually even look in your spam folder to see if maybe it went there. You're going to be searching for it, and you're going to open it so quickly because it's going to say confirmation. Confirmation of your enrollment in the Marketing Impact Academy. Because when we see a confirmation email, anything that says confirmation, whether it's the gift that you just ordered for yourself off Amazon, or it is a life-changing access to a program like this, you look for that email and you open it. A lot of people don't know that. And you've got to understand what emails people open and how. And then guess what we're going to do? Okay, this is awesome. Okay, stay with me for a second. You see, in the past, I used to have to do this too. Everybody did, but it's different now. How do you know what to offer people? Have you ever thought to yourself, what if I were to create an academy or a product or an invention or like a kit? Or what if I were to create something really cool like that? I've got this really cool idea, and in the past, what most entrepreneurs would do is they would rely on their creativity. They'd draw up these really cool business plans, and they go, this is what I think people are going to want. Yep, this is what people are going to want. And then they spend all this time and money developing that product, developing the product name, deciding how much to charge for it. Then they put it out to market, and that's why you hear every single year that most businesses fail. And they don't have to anymore. My students' businesses don't fail. You know why? Because they don't create things in a test tube. That's stupid. You don't need to do that anymore. Why would you? That's like flying a plane blind. You don't have to do that anymore. Now, I teach you how to use social media to co-create whatever it is you're going to offer next with your audience so that your audience is part of the process. You know what that turns them into? Evangelists. They're going to tell you how much to charge for it. They're going to tell you what should be included. They're going to tell you what's missing. They're going to tell you, and better than that, they're going to tell everybody else to buy it before it's even for sale. Do you want an example of that right now? Have you been hearing everybody talking about my diet beta test? Yeah? Well, I'm designing a diet program for people, but I'm not designing it quietly behind closed doors and then saying, here it is, everybody. No, I co-created it with 2,500 people. I went to my audience, I said, hey guys, I want to test this idea, but I need to know how this is going to work for you, what you need in terms of support and recipes and information, and I want to know how this should be priced, and I want to know how long it should be, and I want to know what type of success people are looking for and what they're hoping to get out of it. So will you do this with me? Will you test this with me? And now I have 2,500 people who have become evangelists for something I haven't even created yet. I don't even have a name for it yet. But I'll tell you what I do have. I have people who are dying to tell their friends about it. I've got built-in customers. I know exactly what to create, not because I created it behind closed doors, but because I co-created it. And you'll do that too. In fact, if you don't have a following, guess where you'll get intel and feedback from? Your fellow members of the Marketing Impact Academy. That is why all of these conversations and the brainstorming happens inside our private academy. It's exclusive. It's not on Facebook. There's not a Facebook group for this. This happens inside the academy. It's like a mastermind, except you don't have to spend $10,000 to join this exclusive mastermind. You actually will do it with people who are going through the same exact process as you. And once you figure out what your product is, either within our group or by practicing beta testing, which we teach you how to do it, like step by step, it's so simple. We show you the wording, what questions to ask, and how to get all of the information you need to test, not launch, test your first idea. So you can't fail. Everything is an experiment. And then once you know what that is, I'm going to teach you how to go live and use the infomercial formula. Whether you're speaking on someone's stage or in a Facebook Live or someone's interviewing you for a podcast, you'll know that formula inside and out. And nobody else teaches this. And dude, it freaking works. And it's easy and it's simple. It's stuff you already know, but you've probably been doing it in the wrong order. And once you have the order, it's just like a perfect recipe. You know, if you put in all the right ingredients, things turn out. And when I say things turn out, I mean sales, right? Let's face it, you need sales and you don't want to sell, then you've got to know how to captivate on the people who've had amazing success for you. I won't have to sell this diet program when I launch it. Trust me, I won't. The weight loss, the experience of the people who've used my product, who've used your product, that's who's going to do the selling for you if you allow me to share with you the right steps to do this. All of this stuff is easy. It's not simple to do it, but it's easy if you know the right order. I'm like the worst student ever. I mean, I don't know how I got into Michigan State University. I don't know how I got through it because I'm a terrible student. But what it made me realize is there were certain classes I got really good grades in and I got really into it. And the common denominator was always a teacher who could teach. Somebody who has a little bit of attention, okay, fine, a lot of attention disorder. You know, like it's hard for me to focus. So I know how to teach things in a way that if you can follow, you don't have to be a genius, but if you can follow steps and avoid the temptation of skipping steps, you'll be successful time after time after time. Once you've got all these things, dude, then we crush. Then I teach you how to blanket social media. But do you understand why? I know right now if I told you I'm going to teach you how to blow up all your social media platforms, people are like, let's do it. You wouldn't think twice about the Marketing Impact Academy. You're like, what? Millions more followers? Let's go. But followers and likes and subscribers don't turn into sales unless you have all the foundational pieces in place. You know, if they did, then you could just run ads all day long. But if you're just running ads all day long and you haven't figured out these foundational pieces, good freaking luck. I mean, you might get lucky, but it's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to have the same success product after product, idea after idea that the students of the Marketing Impact Academy have because you got lucky. And I think that's possible to get lucky. But we're going to teach you how to blanket all social media and how to do it in a way that doesn't kill your vibe. And by that I mean you don't have to do it. I'm going to teach you how to outsource this stuff, but it doesn't make any sense for me. I know you love that stuff. It doesn't make any sense for you to start doing it and for me to teach it to you right off the bat because you're not ready for it. You got to get those foundational pieces in place. You got to have your email list set up. You got to have a baby offer. You got to get people's trust by offering them something really small that they can buy, and that's what we do inside the Marketing Impact Academy. Now, eventually, this is going to shock you, but eventually you're going to be in a position where you can afford, because you've got sales, you can afford to do paid advertising. But until you've got sales, why are you messing with paid advertising? Let's figure out a way for you to get free sales first and then stack on top of that with paid advertising. And again, none of the stuff you're going to learn at a university. And I say this every year. You go through the Marketing Impact Academy. Okay, I'm going to make you a promise right now. You go through the Marketing Impact Academy and you keep your notes. And if you follow through on what you learn in this and you can show me that you learned more with your MBA in business, I'll pay for your tuition. I say it every year, and I've had not one student come to me and take me up on that offer. Instead, and you'll see the testimonials, I hear students that'll say, I have an MBA, and she was right. I learned more about business in 1 week of Marketing Impact than I ever did with my MBA. And that makes me happy. I know, because I study this stuff. But I can say that that can save you $200,000. Maybe that could save you and your kid who you're about to send off to school, to business school, $200,000. But you won't have to pay $200,000. And you won't have to spend $10,000 trying to produce a product that nobody's yet ready for, and that you keep putting your family further and further in debt and thinking that you're doing something wrong. You won't have to waste any more money or time. You know, time is, it's hard to quantify how much money you're wasting by spending so much time thinking it is just simply you need to get more organized. What's the point of being organized if you're not organizing the right steps in the right order? You know, don't waste another year. What is another year worth of your time worth? I mean, think about it. Think about the fact that for $347, like if you knew that you could get an education that was far superior to the most prestigious business degree, and you could do it by making an initial payment of $347, and you'd have to think about that. I have to think that doesn't make any sense to me unless your parents have done such a number on your self-doubt that it is time for you to break that pattern. Start. Hello? I mean, really? Seriously, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me that people would doubt themselves enough. You want the freedom, you want to do it, and you think, you're having to think twice about that. But I get it, because I think self-doubt does a number on us. And so it's my job to help you understand exactly what's involved. And that's why I always tell people that you can start. You can start for the first payment of $347. It's 6 payments of $347. Or if you want to save money, you can do a single payment of $19.97. But either way, you can start learning today. You can go back to school tonight after the kids go down, sit down with your glass of wine and go, what is this all about? And you can do that every day for the next 30 days. You can suck up as much knowledge as you want for the next 30 days and then decide that this isn't right for you. It's just not right. And you want to return it, and we will return it to you. No questions asked. That should erase any doubt that you have. If that doesn't give you the courage to know that now it's up to you, then the only reason why you wouldn't do it is because you doubt yourself. And that I can't do anything about, right? So if you know, okay, there is truly no risk here. The investment is so minimal. The rewards, the opportunity is now. The timing is now. This is speaking to me. It's putting butterflies in my stomach, and I'm still not going to do it. Well, then that is because the voice inside your head says, I won't follow through. And if that's the case, I can't help you, because you absolutely have to follow through. You absolutely have to watch the lessons and take notes and take action. Take messy, scary, imperfect, all messed up action, and you'll be a success. You take no action, you get no success. I mean, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So make that decision today. But I seriously can't tell you how important it is for me to help you wipe out that voice that's like, well, maybe I'm going to mess this up. And that's why I really want you to know that it's a powerful investment that you make. So not only do we give you the Marketing Impact Academy, you've probably seen all of the videos of our live events. And you've probably seen, like, Facebook feed when it fills up and you're like, and I get messages from you like, it's my goal to be there next year. I've seen people every year, they say, this looks amazing. It's my goal to do this next year. Why? Why? Don't even type that in the chat window, because here's what I would like you to type. I don't believe in myself right now. Maybe next year I will. Because that's really what you're saying. And it's so hard for me to, I know, I don't say that to people, but I so want to. Because I get all day long, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, people are like, it's my goal next year to be at Marketing Impact Academy. I just can't this year. I want to say to them, just be honest and say, I don't believe I can make it happen. I don't believe in myself this year. Maybe next year I will. So I want to make that easier for you. I want you to get over that self-doubt. I want to give you so much that this feels like I have to do this because it's too good. I don't want you to be that person that says, I want to be at next year's live event. I want you to be there. I want you to be in my front row. I want to dance with you. I want to celebrate your messy startups. I want to hear about all of the things you did that didn't go so well the first time, but now you're experiencing some success because you started. That's the only way you're going to be one of these stories that I feature is if you start. So I'm going to give you all 4 years of Marketing Impact Academy live. We record every minute of it, so you didn't miss any of those incredible speakers like Brendan Bouchard, like Lewis Howes, like Nicole Walters, like Sean Kennel, like Brock Johnson from Snapchat, like some of the most amazing leaders in internet marketing, like Product Launch Formula. I mean, all of these things have been taught from my stage by experts, and you didn't miss it because today when you join, I want to help you over that self-doubt hurdle, and we will give you the live footage from 2014. We're talking 4 days from 2014, 4 days from 2015, our events from 2016, our event from 2017, 4 years worth of our live footage. I mean, that alone is worth over $10,000. We sell tickets to the event. The tickets to come and sit at the event are $2,000. Well, every year we have people who wait to see if we have enough spaces open because we make sure that our students are registered first. Our academy students get first dibs on seats. And then after that, we open it up to the public, and those seats are $2,000. So you will have been at all of those. You didn't miss anything. They're there waiting for you. But guess what? I'm also going to give you 2 tickets to this year's live event. And the live events are pretty unbelievable. So you're going to get 2 live event tickets. That's a $4,000 bonus. Okay, so do you understand? Let me just backtrack here. And I'm not great at math, but I have my husband's nearby, so I could always ask him if I get stuck here. But we're going to give you $10,000 worth of our past year's seminars from 2014 to 2017. I mean, that's an education, a business education in and of itself. We're also going to give you $4,000 worth of live ticket seats. That's a $14,000 bonus, and you have to make a single payment today of $347 to get started. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you more than that. I'm going to give you my how to start podcasting tutorial, and it also includes my social media trickle down. How I go live on Facebook. I then take the audio from that. I strip the audio. That turns into a podcast. That podcast then gets transcribed. That transcription turns into tweets, Facebook posts, updates for Instagram, and one live video trickles down that social media waterfall, blanketing every single platform with my words. I didn't have to hire somebody to write them. I teach you how you do that, like how you outsource it, and I mean, not just like how to, like what to do. Like I literally show you on my laptop because, dude, I'm like you. I'm not a techie person, but I'm going to show you on my laptop what software to download for free. I'm going to show you how to pull that file into the software, what it looks like, how to strip the audio out, I'm going to show you in a desktop tutorial how to edit that audio and how to upload it to your podcast and how to do these things. That's a $200 value. I'm also going to give you Instagram Impact, which is one of our most popular online training courses. That's another $200 value. But perhaps most priceless, I think, is you'll be a part of this mastermind. You'll be amongst other people who are just like you, who've got brilliant ideas, who can give you feedback on yours and go, I don't know if I would pay that much for it. I'm not sure if that's the right name for it, but I know this is the problem I'm trying to solve. You'll have access to them in our online university. This is our school. This is the Marketing Impact Academy. This is your moment. This is when you need to decide to start. And you can do that right this moment. How do you do that? I'm going to walk you through the process. You ready? All you do, because you're watching me on a video right now, so if you're on a phone, that means I'm taking up the whole screen, right? Some of you are watching on desktop because I can tell from your comments, but if you're watching me on a whole screen right now, you'll need to actually, don't do it yet, give me 20 seconds. Hit the X, and don't delay when you do this because I don't know if we'll fill up immediately, but this is often when it happens. So you want to hit the X on the video, that will take you, it'll shrink the video down onto the screen, and then you'll see below my video a button, and the button says Get Started Today. Yeah, it says Get Started. You'll see that little button. What color is it, guys? Orange. An orange button. You can't miss it. It's orange, Hunter Orange. So you'll click that little orange button. Now what will happen is you'll be redirected, and you'll see, this is really important, because I want you to be excited about it. And you'll be able to see everything I just outlined that you get. So you can go, okay, so what am I getting? Because I was kind of paying attention to the fact that her nails are blue. So what am I getting? And you can look at the list of everything you can get. You'll see all the bonuses I've promised to you. You'll see that you have a money back guarantee in writing. You'll see all that. You can take a screenshot of it. Then you just pull out your credit card and you make sure you give me your best email address. Because remember that email I said you're going to be looking for? Yeah, I have to send you a confirmation email so that you're inside and can start learning immediately. Dude, you start at the most prestigious university for business that I know of. And I give you my word. You start today, like minutes from now. If you've got butterflies in your stomach, that's a good sign. You do that now. So go ahead and click the button in the upper corner, hit the orange button, and let's get started. For the rest of you, if you're still here, I guess maybe you find me entertaining or something. I don't know what's going on, but I want to know why you don't think this is possible for you, because it is. So let me make this up. I want to take a look at the people who are joining right now so I can congratulate them. Make sure you get your email. So while I'm doing that, while I'm congratulating our new Academy students, I want to also give you an opportunity to meet some of my students and hear about their amazing stories.
I had been taught an old school model. I had been taught a belly-to-belly, one-on-one, face-to-face business model, and I was a hard worker, and I wasn't afraid of that, and I believed in just grinding. I'm an investor, so I've been in real estate for almost 8 years now, and I've actually transitioned into speaking. I was the anti-social media guy. I didn't believe in social media. I thought social media was a distraction. I thought it was a waste of time. And I was intimidated by social media because I didn't understand it. I didn't know what to do. I pulled the thing up and I'm like, what's going on here? And I hit a button and next thing I know, I'm live and I don't know what all this stuff is happening. Marketing Impact Academy came across my path and it allowed me to take my business from a one-on-one basis and allows me to now post one post and reach 500 people, 1,000 people. It's allowed me to 10x my business. It gave us a vehicle to serve so many other people that we never would have been able to reach. It allowed me to kind of step back and automate that business and to allow the business to be working for me instead of me working for the business. What else that opened up in my life was the ability for me to really spend more time with my loved ones, with my wife, and learning from an expert is priceless because you're not learning from someone who's talking about a theory. You're learning from someone who has been there and done that and is living the very thing that they're teaching you. And now all you have to do is follow in their footsteps. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And that's what it's like working with Chalene. You're learning from someone who has done it over and over and over again, but most importantly is still doing it today. For someone who wants to take back control of their life, to break out from the everyday grind that they've been stuck in, and to really free themselves and to give themselves an easy step-by-step process where they don't have to be the ones figuring it out all the way. All they gotta do is just follow the system. If you're sitting around and you're thinking about like, should I do this, should I not do this? I think the very fact that you're asking that question, you already have your answer. You wouldn't even be here, you wouldn't even be looking at this. One, if you weren't ready for it, and two, if this wasn't the right thing for you. You're here for a reason.
The thing that I've really taken away from this is I went to Ohio State University, got a 4-year degree in business, and never second guessed spending like $60,000 on college. And you don't get any of this information at the college level. So there's one thing I could do, I would go back and tell people about this amazing opportunity.
I run 2 businesses, a physical yoga studio and now an online business. We took our list from 0 to 500 in just 1 month, which I was just blown away. We can only teach so many people and so many classes. So I thought, well, why not just film this and apply all the steps that Marketing Impact Academy has taught me. With a 2-day marketing lead-in, we made $7,000 in 1 week, and for me that was just amazing. Like, we tripled our income.
Last year, I was working full-time as a waitress. Now I own a media company, and I truly believe I was able to start this business because of the Marketing Impact Academy. I bought the Marketing Impact Academy to learn what's new and what's working in marketing right now. And by learning how to build an online presence and how to actually find clients, I bought the Academy in March, and by September, I quit my job as a waitress and did this full-time. And from September to now, I've doubled my income. So does the Marketing Impact Academy work? Yes, it does.
With Marketing Impact, no matter what your product is, whether it's maybe a thing you have to sell or a skill set or a training, you can plug and play. Marketing Impact is for everyone, all walks of life, all ages, all skill sets, all backgrounds.
Chalene teaches us exactly the tools to get it done and grow our businesses. It's so awesome.
Time is an issue. I get the opportunity to watch a video, take in a concept, then go and apply it, and then come back and do the next step, and that really works well for me. Had I been trying to do this on my own without the guidance, it would have taken so much longer for me to get to the point that I am.
I truly believe that when I think about how much my time is worth, MIA is going to pay back so quickly. I know is definitely worth it.
I'm Tony Steele. I'm from Detroit, and now I live in Tennessee, and I own my own barbershop. She is everything I've seen. I don't know if I can say this, but a cool white girl from Detroit, and she's got a lot of soul and information. Just how she refers to them as your lifers, and barbers kind of like take their customers on for life. Most barbers, my dad passed knowing his barber to the end, so my customers are my lifers, so it just was very relevant for what my business does. Step out there. I took a leap of faith, and it's been everything I wanted, so I say take the step of faith.
You know how much I love water bottles, right? Well, I saw a couple of things. Number one, I want to congratulate all of my new students, but I saw a lot of you asking, how do I get a product? How do I do this? What kind of a product? So I have a special guest with me here today, one of my students this is his bottle. And you can find these bottles, it's super cool. You know how I love insulated bottles, and I also happen to love powder blue. So it's got his own logo on the top. See, it's a cool wood cap. And you're going to hear from him exactly how this process went down of sourcing the bottle, customizing his own logo, having that printed on the bottle, and the meaning behind this well. This is a company called wellnessbottles.com, and I'm going to give you a little hint off the top and tell you that 20% of the proceeds go to helping underprivileged countries build wells to help people live without disease. And it's a pretty amazing cause. I can't wait to share the story with you, because what it's going to do, maybe you're not into doing bottles, but you're going to get so many freaking ideas, even if you already have an existing business. Even if you have a brick and mortar, even if you don't have a business, but you're a mom and you've got like this gadget that you freaking love and you tell your girlfriends about, you should be making extra income from that. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a moment. But before I do, I want to congratulate all of my new students and tell you I can't wait to start working with you. So congratulations, Tim Adams, Laura Nurse, William Beck, Joey Chandler, Teddy Kalin, London Winters, Kelly Morin, Ashley Skamersky, David Wright, Sandra Luke, all new students taking advantage, and they're starting today. They quieted that little voice inside them and said, I'm not going to miss out on this, and they're taking action, and I commend you. I commend you, Sherry Brandell, Denise Jutz, Rebecca Reish. You guys will have to tell me. It's our favorite part. I know. This is everyone's favorite part because I always mess up the name. So I hate it when people call me Chalene, so let me know if I mispronounce your name, please. Go inside the academy and go, here's how you pronounce it. Michael Vizo, thank you for that simple name. Robin Baldwin, Jennifer Elliott, Natalie Henriquez, Rod White, Brooklyn Clefman, Mary Ann Martinez, awesome to meet you. Wanda Bellisle, Pam Stevens, Sarah Neeson, Ravi Kanda, Leslie Mendenhall, Krista, how do teachers learn to do this? Krista Rockman, Sarah Skidmore, Venice Long, Diane Coes, Kathleen Greggio. Holy cow, I'm so excited. This list keeps going and going and going. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'm so excited to take the opportunity to get you started. Like, dude, it's freaking awesome. So why not you? This is your opportunity. But maybe for some reason you think you need to be further along in your career, that you need to know more about business, that you need to have more capital, that you need to have, extra savings built up before you do this. Or maybe, when I'm more clear about my purpose and my passion, that's when I should do something like this. Well, I think that you're wrong, and I'd like to prove to you that you don't need any of those things. So I'd like for you to meet my next guest, Jake, but are we going to... We're going to hear from Mandy first. Okay, but before, Jake's on his way. I want you to meet Jake because you need to hear about his story, and I want you to hear the story behind this, okay? But before I do, I know a lot of you are in the type of business, like it's a business, right? But it also kind of feels like a job because you have to be there in order to make money, and you're looking for a way to find residual or passive income. Doctors, lawyers, hairstylists, makeup artists. So I want you to see the story from Mandy because it's super inspirational.
I'm just the average girl. I'm just, I'm a hairstylist. I never went to college. I just knew to work. I didn't have any additional schooling. I work full-time in the salon, and I never really thought that I could have my own business. I never considered myself an entrepreneur. And that word seemed far-fetched to me, entrepreneur. I wanted to have this life where I called the shots. Marketing Impact Academy gives me the ability to have that freedom. With MIA, I really realized, oh my gosh, this can work for anybody in any business with any knowledge that anybody has. It made me feel like, I think I could do this. I discovered this hidden talent that I never knew I would have had if I hadn't have just started and just overcame that fear of putting myself out there and trying new things. It went from idea to the first sale in 1 week, and it was the most amazing thing I ever could have done. Within 2 weeks, making about $3,000 with my baby offer to my audience of really targeted people who really needed that. There's nothing more humbling than waking up in the morning and checking your email and seeing that you've had payments. Sorry. Seeing that you have payments come in while you were sleeping. I never thought that I would be able to have that type of passive income. It gets me emotional just thinking about being able to wake up and see payments come through, because that's me living my dream that I'd always imagined. You go from, I don't know what it is I want to do, and within a few steps of MIA, you're starting to see yourself as an entrepreneur and really seeing things happen. There are foundations in this academy that I will always have with me because it is that detailed, and it takes you step by step by step, everything you need to know to create your online business, serve your audience forever, and just really have that confidence that carries on through too. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You just have to put yourself out there, and you just have to trust the process. Trust the process that MIA will take you by the hand and it will show you the way. You have to understand that when you do something really scary, there's a big opportunity waiting for you on the other side. And that is the biggest thing that stops people, is the fear, the doubt that I don't know if this is for me. You have to go past that fear, and you just have to dive in and just do it. You're hesitating to be able to click that buy now button. It's a really scary thing to do. It's a big investment. I can tell you that in that initial buy now, that investment, it will pay you back. It will pay you back, and it's the most beautiful thing to see your dreams be a reality like that. MIA shows you those steps from the beginning, and it helps you go through those doubts, those thoughts in your mind of figuring out what is that special thing that you have that you can teach to people, and figuring out not just that special thing, but that thing that drives you, that purpose. It really pulls out your purpose. Listen to what Chalene says, implement, and learn the process just as she teaches it. That is going to be the game changer. You're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, that was the best decision I've ever made.
What's up? Jake, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. This is Jake Bedard, my friend Jake Bedard, and he's also one of our youngest, but not the youngest, students in the Marketing Impact Academy. And I thought Jake would be a really important person for you to meet, especially if, like I said before you watched that last story, you feel like, well, I'm not ready yet. Like I've got to know for sure what I'm doing. I need to know who my audience is. I need to know what I want to do with my life. I need to know what my purpose is. I need to have more of these things figured out. And so Jake, I hope you don't take that personally.
No, definitely not.
But when Jake first started the Marketing Impact Academy, he had just graduated high school, and you were in the fall going to be starting school.
Yeah, at San Diego State.
Mm-hmm. And so what was the, because I understand a lot of people watching are adult, not that you're not an adult, but like parents and they've got kids and bills, et cetera. So, okay. Yep, we're gonna check the audio on that. But I think most of you, what's that? Checking live, we're live. So now you really know we're live, but this is not pre-recorded. But I think a lot of people would assume, we're on, cool. Would assume that you're a college student, so like why would you make an investment of your time when you're going to be so busy to learn this stuff? Like what was your why?
A lot of it was just, when I first went to college, I wasn't really excited on the idea of college, I would say.
Okay.
I was in an entrepreneurship class when I was in high school.
Yep.
And I was just really, really wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I kind of had this like fantasy of being like a college dropout, and
But is that a because I want to ask you about this, because I've talked to my kids about this. Is there a part of you though, like even though you would want to maybe be an entrepreneur, is there a part of you that would assume that society would think that was kind of a loser thing to do if you didn't go to college and you could?
Oh, of course, yeah. I definitely would say that I knew that and this is why I started so early, I knew that if I was going to be like a college dropout, it had to be because I was making millions of dollars or something. Because like no one was going to let that happen.
Right? Okay, so you start learning it, and is your goal you wanted to make extra money, and why did you want to make extra money? Were you paying for your own school?
Yeah, so at first I definitely thought I was going to be having to pay for my own school and stuff like that. Later on, I came to found that my parents had some money saved up to help me out and
They're
stuff.
smart.
And so, yeah, definitely. But what was great was the money that I made from doing entrepreneurial stuff allowed me to do really cool stuff. Like I went to Europe and backpacked around Europe all summer last summer. And,
on your dime, not mom and dad's.
On my dime mostly. Some they helped out a little bit, like with the schooling part, because I did study abroad for a little bit. But yeah, on my dime. So.
All right. So when you start, right? You start through Marketing Impact Academy. Did you begin with something that you were like, well, this is my business plan, and this is what I'm going to do for the rest? What was your first experience that actually made you money in Marketing Impact Academy?
It was a YouTube video.
Okay.
So
tell us about that. So you made a YouTube video.
Yeah. So I had just figured out, like maybe like not even a month prior to me making the video, how to make a website. Basically, I used WordPress, and I decided that I was going to try to make money with this knowledge that I had. Yeah, like a tutorial on how to make a website, basically.
Okay. So you became an affiliate?
Yeah, so there was a company called Bluehost.
Yep.
And I became an affiliate for Bluehost. It's just like signing up, just like for anything else.
So you make this tutorial, you show people, by your own admission, you're not an expert web developer.
No, definitely did not claim to be an expert at all.
You show them, okay, here's a simple website that you can use. You walk people through that process, kind of holding their hand and saying, okay, click this button, you don't need this, you don't need that. I've watched the video so I can speak with authority. You don't need this, you don't need that. And you even say, like, I don't even know what this means, but I'm going to skip that for now. Like, I mean, I just want people to know it wasn't like super highly produced. It was just you're a very likable person, and you could tell that you were walking people through that process and saving them money and time by letting them know what they did and didn't need. And then below the video in your link, you say, by the way, I used Bluehost to set this up. If you click here, you can, did they get a discount or something?
No, they didn't even get a discount. I basically just was like, if you want to support me in this video, then you can click this link.
So in your first month of that video, how did it?
In the first month, it did like $3,000. Most of that was in the first couple of days, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which was
so
crazy.
what we're talking about is becoming an affiliate. And again, remember what I told you, one of the most important things you can do is feel that initial boost of confidence that you have when you're like, oh my God, I just made money. Like it doesn't even, I mean, that's I don't think that's typical to have that kind of success that quickly out of the gate. But I'm telling you, the response you feel, even if it's like a $5 sale, you're like, oh my God, I don't know this person. And they just bought something from me. And more importantly, I just helped someone.
Yeah.
You know, so did that light a fire in you to do more?
God. Yes,
Yeah?
definitely. You described it perfectly. That when like a random person like buys something from you, or
don't you feel like writing them a thank you, like a personal thank you note to each person?
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's
you
a
just
crazy
feel
feeling.
this like crazy
especially when
jet.
you're not doing anything either. It's like you're sleeping or at the beach or something.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling.
It's the best feeling, and that gets you pumped up, and that's why it's the very first thing. Those of you who have just joined, that's the very first thing that you'll learn. It's a really important lesson, because you don't have to do that indefinitely, but to have that under your belt and to know it can continue. Like you can keep adding all these different streams. So you've got that stream of income, and then eventually you started getting into the e-commerce side of things.
Yes, yeah.
So tell us the story of Coastal Gal.
Sure, yeah. So for the next few years, I was kind of just trying affiliate marketing and stuff and having a little bit of success. But at some point, I got into e-commerce.
What was the first thing you decided to import?
Jewelry. It was definitely jewelry, but it wasn't Coastal Gal type jewelry. But I actually had a website called jakesshop.com. It was kind of like my tester site where I tested things out.
And so you tested things and certain things didn't work.
Oh, a ton of stuff doesn't work for
Okay.
sure. Definitely. And what's great about nowadays is that you can kind of test things out and get a Shopify and run a little bit of ads or something for very, very cheap. And so basically I was kind of just testing products, having a little bit of success here, a little bit of success there. But one of the products, which was a turtle necklace.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, just kind of exploded. And
Is that crazy?
This was
So
on jakesshop.com.
That's my point, is that he didn't buy like, $10,000 worth of jewelry that he's like, I think this is gonna be it. You test it. You do these little beta tests, I call them, where it's a minimal investment to figure out what people want. And then instead of you deciding what you're gonna give people, let them tell you what they want. And you discover that this turtle necklace is like the hot item.
Yeah, which was crazy. I out of all the things I tested, I wouldn't have expected that.
No, I wouldn't have either.
But basically that led to me being like, well, obviously this is a great theme of products. And so then in like a couple days, maybe even just like not even a day, I threw together Coastal Gal.
So in less than a day, designing another website, and it's called Coastal Gal, or was called Coastal Gal.
Yeah.
And then you start marketing a line of jewelry that you import?
Yeah, I didn't start out importing it.
Okay.
It was basically a very janky way of doing things. It was, I would literally...
I love that you just said that, because you understand, like, even janky, I don't even know what that word means, but I know right now that janky means like it ain't perfect, right? Even janky works because you start, but it doesn't work when you're trying to make something perfect before you start. Okay, so what happened with your janky start?
Yeah, so when I started out, it was basically if I would find the product online on AliExpress, I'm sure you're familiar with. I would put the pictures on my website, and if someone bought it off my website, I would buy it off AliExpress, and instead of sending it to me, I would send it directly to the customer.
Got it. Okay, so and that's something that we taught this year at Marketing Impact Academy Live. And that footage, for those of you who just joined, will be available to you. And so all those website names, everything we've just talked about, don't worry. It's all going to be inside the Academy for you. In fact, we'll walk you through the process. Together, we'll walk through that process so you understand how to source items, how to buy them from a source where they don't have to ship directly to you. You can have them shipped directly to your customer. And so Coastal Gal, how successful was that in your first year?
Oh, it was very successful. So first of all,
can you give us what does that mean?
Oh, I mean, it did in the first month like $20,000 and then it grew.
Did you take your girlfriend out to some nice dinners?
Yes,
You better
definitely. Probably.
Were you like
spent all the money?
Were you
on
like
nice
Mark
dinners.
Zuckerberg? Who?
Yeah. It was.
What? You want a turtle necklace?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, she probably got the most benefit from.
Yeah.
from
Did you
all
make
of
her wear turtle necklaces?
No, I did not. The target audience was an older audience for sure.
And we teach you how to find your target audience. So remember, it's not always who you think it's going to be. Like, so Jake's shop, who were you trying to target with Jake's shop?
Anybody that would buy anything. It was like shotgun approach, you know. And
Okay.
so and then eventually I started to hone down on.
All right. And see, you're never going to get to where you think you need to go unless you start. And I don't know anyone who starts in MIA and on day 30 or even day 60 is doing what they thought they were going to do on day 1. So you definitely have to go through this process with an open mind, and it's really fun because some crazy, ridiculously cool, outrageous things are going to develop for you. You just can't predict it if you've got set in stone what your business needs to look like. If you're open to the possibility of saying like, hey, let's just try this out and see what happens. Some pretty cool stuff can happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And so what were your sales? Because you recently sold Coastal Gal?
It's still in the process of selling
okay.
it, yeah.
Okay. What type of revenue have you generated with
total over the course of the last, or 2016, it did 150,000.
Jake Bedard.
Yeah.
Dude.
Not all profit, not all profit.
But you're so humble. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you make a lot of mistakes?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I probably could have made a lot more money if I know now what I.
How fun is that though?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's
and
crazy.
what has that inspired to, or how did that inspire this?
Yeah, so with wellness bottles.
Wellnessbottles.com, by the way.
Yeah, basically, Coastal Gal at the end of the day was really all about money and making money, kind of.
Sure.
And I kind of realized that with what I learned that I had an opportunity to actually make a pretty big difference because I was making all this money and it was actually turning into something big. And so I knew kind of when I was nearing the end of Coastal Gal where I was starting to realize I didn't want to do it anymore, that whatever the next thing I did, I wanted it to actually make the world a better place, kind of,
that's
and
so awesome.
make people's lives better, at least.
Yeah.
And so kind of the idea of bottles came about with my roommates who are sitting over there.
So these guys go to school with you?
Yeah, we're
you wanna give
roommates.
them shout outs?
Yeah, it's Luke and Josh Massey.
I love, that's why they look alike. They've got the same last name. I was wondering.
But yeah, so basically we knew from the very beginning of starting the company that we wanted to give a portion of the profits. In high school, I did a lot of work in the business class. We built wells in Africa to try to bring water to people who needed it.
Yeah.
And we just decided that was a natural connection with the water bottles.
Yeah.
It's something there's a huge need for.
So cool. So did you design this logo?
Yeah, so that was a very arduous process.
It was?
Working with the manufacturers. We had many different manufacturers that we were looking at trying to get because with Coastal Gal the product was okay, but we really wanted a super high quality product.
Proud of,
and so we really spent a lot of time.
This lid is everything.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
we so cool.
we wanted it to be special in some way.
It's super cool. Yeah, this is amazing. So the logo, did you design that?
I designed it, yeah.
Come on, you did?
Yeah, on
so
Canva,
cool.
which you're the one who introduced me to that.
We teach you how to use Canva inside the Marketing Impact Academy, so pretty amazing, right? This feels like purpose, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It's so much more fun than Coastal Gal was a lot of fun because it was
making money's
making
fun.
money. Yeah, definitely. But this is I am just so happy that I'm doing it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's pretty awesome. What I want you to take away from Jake's story is we put so much pressure on people trying to find their purpose or their passion or their calling. And I think the thought is that it's got to be so grandiose or so big that you shouldn't start until you know your purpose or your calling. But clearly turtle necklaces, this wouldn't have happened if it weren't for turtle necklaces.
Definitely not.
Am I right?
Definitely not.
So you just have to freaking start. You have to start. You know, here's an example that I think will help you. Whatever it is that you do, I don't care what it is, regardless of your business or the business you don't have, there are things that you buy and you like and they make your life easier. And those things you tell people about, or you inadvertently are talking about them all the time, right? Like I always talk about my blender. I love my Vitamix blender. I love the hangers that I use. I try to like force boutiques I go into. I'm like, you should use huggable hangers. All these clothes will stop falling off your hangers. Once you fall in love with a gadget or a gizmo, you tend to become an evangelist for it because you know it makes other people's lives easier. So think of anything right now that you use, whether it's a remote control for your camera, like a shutter, or a tripod, a water bottle, exercise bands, a yoga mat, absolutely anything you can think of that you've bought and use on a regular basis in the last 6 months, you could pretty much find an import.
Yeah, definitely.
And you'll be tripping out on how inexpensively and what small quantities you can import a lot of these things. Here's an example. So this necklace, every time I wear it on Snapchat, can you see it? You see that, Irene? I go like this? Okay. So every time I wear this necklace anywhere on live video, I get inundated with, please tell us where you got your necklace. Please tell us where you got your necklace. Please tell us where you got your necklace. So I bought this necklace for about $50. And just out of curiosity, as I'm going through my own academy, I thought, you know, I get asked about this necklace all the time. Could I import this necklace? And sure enough, I found this necklace for $1.17. Import a quantity of 12 units. So I thought, well, I'm going to order it and just see if it's garbage, right? Like maybe, is it plastic? So I imported them, and this is the same necklace that I imported. I've worn it for months and months now. It doesn't tarnish, doesn't change colors, and I sent it to all my friends. And you know, so to think that you could just be going live and whatever it is you're wearing or whatever it is that you're talking about, whether you can import makeup, you can import a journal, you can import water bottles, and for a lot of you that might be your baby offer. I'm not saying it's the thing that you're going to find your purpose and passion with, but it might be that first start that you need to go, oh, okay, this wasn't that hard. You can literally, when you watch the footage from our 2017 Marketing Impact Academy live, was it day 1 or day 2? Day 1. Day 1. By the end of that lesson, you will have set up your website. You'll know how to source a product and exactly what you need to do to start making passive income. And is it scary?
Yeah, to start a little bit, but I mean, not anymore.
But once, even with that fear there, what do? You just follow steps, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one tiny little improvement at a time.
Yeah. What would you say to the person who thinks that they have to make a big investment to start?
I mean, my investment with Coastal Gal up front was pretty much zero.
That's crazy.
I mean, I was all free trials, and like I said, I wasn't buying the inventory up front. So
that's great. I mean, there's like zero pain point for your entry into something that can turn into something really profound, like wellness bottles. So do us a favor, because I think it'd be awesome if you guys checked out and supported wellness bottles. Jake, where do the proceeds go?
20% of the profits go to an organization called Love Mercy, and they help us. We work with them to build wells in Kenya.
Awesome. So cool. I hope you love this story. I hope that that's inspirational to you. I know some of you have got, maybe you're not a college student, maybe you've got a kid in college and you'd love for them to go through this process with you. They should. My son, Brock, who's about the same age as Jake, a year younger than Jake, we forced him to, he's an unpaid intern for Team Johnson, and his assignment was to go through the Marketing Impact Academy and look for anything that, maybe a link that was broken, go through all the lessons and help us really detail and make sure everything, is where it's supposed to be. And in that process, he was like, I learned so much about business in just that assignment. So if you've got a kid, you're buying this for yourself, but you've got a kid who's in college who you think leans towards entrepreneurship, get them to go through this with you. Maybe you've got a full-time job right now, you're in corporate America and you think, I don't have much time to do this. I want you to see the story from Aaron, who was working a really busy corporate job and trying to balance that with family. And just wondered if she'd have enough time to do something like this. I mean, Jake is a great example. He's a college student. You don't have a lot of free time when you're in college. So whether you're a busy mom, a full-time professional with a commute, it doesn't take much time. And you make it happen. You stop watching reality TV. You prioritize getting through this stuff and watch what happens to your life. Check out Erin's story.
I was living this like really fun, exciting career that I'd always dreamt about. Like it felt better than I could have imagined. Getting to be creative, getting paid for it, being in a really cool environment in a company that's going places. However, the pain that I felt about not always being there to put my kids to bed or sitting in LA traffic for an hour was the breaking point for me, because nothing matters to me as much as they mean to me, and I wasn't showing it. I loved my job, but every time my kid got sick, I wanted to quit my job. Every single time. So I realized that everything I loved to do, I could do from home. Society says that you can't have that dream. What a wacky dream, that I can work 2 hours a day on anything I want and make more money now than I did when I was working full-time with a 2-hour commute. I sat there saying, there's no way that can be my life. That's Chalene's life. It can't be mine. And it is. Without Marketing Impact Academy, I would not have had the knowledge to set myself up for that. My journey started with the idea that I wanted to help people, because the problem I wanted to solve was I was being asked all the time, how do you make food taste good that's good for you? How do you feel like you're not on a diet for the rest of your life? How do you feed your family the food you want them to eat? And how do you make it fun? How do I take that and make a business out of it? Going through MIA, I learned all the steps. I learned how to make it a business. I learned specifically what to do. Going through this lets you know that there's another way, and this is the way of the future. Going through Marketing Impact, our lives are happier because we have freedom that we didn't have before. That's huge. Marketing Impact is for anybody. I think if you're not content with where you are, or there's a problem you want to solve, it's for you. Think about the best self-help book you've ever read. Marketing Impact is like that, except with more tools to teach you how to do it. And then Chalene, like in your ear and in your home.
Start a relationship with them by adding them to your email list, by giving them a gift.
Helping you do it. Like, you cannot put a price tag on a coach like that. You can't. When people ask me about Marketing Impact Academy, I say just do it. Just write the dumb check. Like, I want to shake people, because if that's what stops you from doing it, you're going to be in the same place next year or worse, because you will be kicking yourself, because this thing opens up for a short window. And I can't tell you how many people last year said, I missed it. They closed it. They closed it and I didn't get to do it. Or this is the best one, I'll do it next year. Guess what? That's one more year that you don't have time to yourself, that you are not happy, that you're not with your children. Like, that's a year that you might never get back. Like, if you're capable of doing the work, then invest in the program, and you can do it. You just have to invest in yourself. Marketing Impact has helped me realize I can have the life of my dreams. Like, I can't imagine wanting anything more than I have right now. That's awesome.
Awesome. Right, like, why wait another year? You already know my feelings on that. I really believe that when people think it's not time, the truth is you just haven't built up enough confidence in yourself, because this works and there's no risk. I mean, you've got 30 days to decide. It's a first payment of $347. I've already told you everything that you get, and I'm going to review that for you and answer some of the questions I just saw while you were watching Erin. Many of you asking, is this something that gets updated regularly? Absolutely. Yesterday, we filmed about 2 hours worth of brand new content for Snapchat and Instagram, because you know what? I was annoyed as heck when I would buy courses and the content was outdated. I'm like, this is old. So why am I learning this? It's outdated. So yeah, we painstakingly update the Academy when it affects business, right? So if they release a new filter, yeah, we don't need to notify you of a new filter. But if there's a way that we can figure out for you to use, for example, like how do you Snapchat for business? Oh my God. Amazing content. And a lot of people don't even know how to do that yet. They're just wasting their time with puppy dog filters. So yeah, we update it all the time. And I saw a lot of you asking, is this something I have to join each year? No. It is lifetime access. So Marketing Impact Academy 2.0 is lifetime access. And you can go in it, because here's what happens. I mean, I'm a mom and I run a business, but I have a family. So there are times when I intend to become a student and really master, say, Facebook ads. And then life gets in the way. It doesn't disappear. You know, when it makes sense for you in the season that you're in, whether that's family or business-wise, you go back to it. You've made the investment. Unlike a college degree, if you go back to school, if you need to drop out, you're SOL. I mean, it's not like you're getting that money back. It's not like doing a lot of these courses where, you know, it's a 60-day course and they never update it. You have access to this because this is what I want you to do. Can I tell you what I want you to do? I want you to go through a couple of the lessons and go, okay, now I'm going to implement. Just like Jake did. You know, he didn't go all the way to the end of the academy. He started with the quick cash bonus. He did one thing, and that was make a video showing people how to set up their own website using Bluehost. And it made him $3,000. He figured out how to do the e-commerce, and like you said, messy, doing it messy, and made $150,000 as a college student, you know, who doesn't have a lot of extra time. And story after story I can share with you, which you keep seeing, of people who you're seeing who start. You know who you won't see? The people who say year after year, I need to do this. I need to do this. We're not seeing their stories because they haven't started. So there is no story. There's nothing to fix. You can't fix something that you haven't started. You just have to begin. And it's not, you don't have to have a business plan. You don't have to spend $200,000 getting an MBA. You know, somebody commented I saw, which made me laugh, someone said MBAs are for employees. And I don't mean that at all to be disparaging, because I think it's incredible that someone would devote that much time to their education and to learning. I so respect all students. I just think it's a bummer that a lot of the information that we're teaching our doctors, our lawyers, our MBAs isn't up to date. And it could be, but it requires an opportunity like this, where you're inside a university, where you're inside an academy, where the atmosphere is about now. Because here's the difference between when I first started doing this in 2014 and today, 2017, it's so fast now. It is so fast. You can't afford to try to figure this out yourself. In 2014, when we launched the Marketing Impact Academy, you could. You could probably, if you're pretty devoted, pretty good student and willing to do the research, you could probably figure out how to build an email list and start doing some e-commerce. Today, the time it's going to take you to try to figure this out on your own, you will be swept aside because it changes that fast. Our technology and consumer behavior changes so quickly that you have two choices. You can fall behind, try to figure this out yourself, which is the old school way of entrepreneurism, or you can be smart and you can make an investment of your time and of your money, and go directly to the right steps in the right order. So what is this? You keep asking. What is this? Does it go away? No, it doesn't go away. The opportunity does, though, because we only can take a limited number of students with each time we open up the academy. This offer you will never see again. We will never give the same kind of bonuses that we are today. That's something I can tell you for sure. Will we open up the Marketing Impact Academy next year? Yeah, we will. But why would you wait? Why would you wait a whole nother year to start? It can be messy. It can be imperfect. You don't have to have this figured out. Will this help your business? That's the other question I saw. Will this help my business? I'm a realtor. Will this help my business? I'm a doctor. Will this help my business? I'm in direct sales. Will this help my business? I run a in-home daycare service. This will only help your business if you need more sales. If you don't need more sales, this won't help. Will this help you figure out your business? Yes. I can't think of anyone who this wouldn't help, honestly. I really can't. Because even Fortune 500 companies don't know anything about social media and how to talk to us. If they did, we'd see a lot more of them on social. They're not. They're wasting their money on TV advertising. What this is an online university. It's you and I. It's you picking up your phone and saying, you know what? I've got 20 minutes right now. I can waste time on Facebook, or I can go learn exactly how to build my own e-commerce site and start making extra money, or how to figure out a better way to attract customers instead of looking at other people's stuff that's attracted me on Facebook. You watch the lessons on your device, whatever device you want, your laptop, your iPhone. You can download the lessons and listen to them like a podcast in your ear while you're driving to work. You know, that repetition really starts to sink in and you'll own this stuff. You learn at your pace, on your time. But it is everything you need to know in the right orders. People have asked, how many weeks is this? I ask you to give me 8 weeks so that we can go through those lessons together. But there's more than 8 weeks worth of lessons because I have to over-deliver. My goal is for every year for people to go, are you kidding me? You've seen the comments of people next to this video. People commenting, this is the best decision I've ever made. It was the ultimate investment. It changed my business. It changed my life. And when they say it changed their life, they don't just mean because they're making more money. They mean they have more time. I think you know how I feel about family and hustle. I like family a lot. I don't like the hustle. So I teach you things in a way that it won't take over your life. And that's when people say that it's changed their life and it's changed their business. I know what they mean by that. But you can go through literally the first 2 lessons and you'll start, if you apply what I teach you. Now, if you just watch them for entertainment purposes to see what earrings I'm wearing, you're not going to change your business. But if you watch the lessons, and just like Jake did, or just like any of the students who you've watched today, like Aaron did, like Mandy did, if you watch the lessons, just those first lessons that we spend together, you can start making money immediately. It doesn't have to be complicated. That's the quick cash bonus. It's the very first thing that you'll get. You'll also get all the bonus content. So for those of you who've joined today and you've got 30 days to decide, one payment of $347, and you have access to hours and hours and hours of the best content in the right order. That is so important. You'll learn not only how to start making money immediately, but who your customer is. You know, if you're trying to sell to someone who's not interested in buying what it is you have to offer, you're going to drive yourself freaking nuts. You have to figure out who wants it and what words they want to use, and I'm going to help you figure that out. And so will your fellow students. It's such a cool community because everyone's kind of in the same place. Like everyone's like really being creative, and everybody's, you know, they're very eager to help each other because they know, and you'll know, that you're going to need everybody's opinion on your thing eventually too. And it's pretty powerful once you start realizing, just by a couple simple words, how to attract people who are looking for you and how to detract certain people. You know, I teach you how to get rid of people who are just going to be a nightmare for you. You know, we do this all the time. You probably notice in a lot of my messaging, I use the word dude. I'll be like, hey, dude, I'll start off my emails that way intentionally because you need to know who I am. And I also need to get rid of, the customers who are offended, because we get them, customers who are offended because I use language like that, dude. But I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my best friend. And my best friends, I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe this. Dude, you will not believe this. That's how I talk. And you're going to be one of my best friends. If I care about you, I'm going to call you dude. And if that bothers you, I need to know about that right up front because I need to be me, and I'm going to teach you how to be you, but times 2. Bigger, not so polished and perfected, and not so you look like you're imitating, you know, one of these other people on social media. Like, it doesn't work. Don't imitate those people. You need to be you. You know, and if that's shy and quiet and more reserved, that works. The only thing that doesn't work is when you try to be something other than yourself. I'm going to teach you how to do that with attraction marketing. I'm going to teach you how to master live video, I can teach you everything I know about live video, how we're getting up to a reach of 1 million people in less than 24 hours on Facebook. I swear to God, without paying a penny, without boosting the video. But you have to know how to do that. You can't mess that up. There's a formula. Otherwise, people hide your live video, and you need that right now. It's a short window of opportunity. Opportunity is now. Are you going to seize it? Or are you going to admit that you're willing to be uninformed for yet another year? You either seize the opportunity or you don't. You seize the opportunity or you walk away from it. I'm going to teach you that what you think you're doing in social media can all be gone tomorrow if you don't know how to build an email list. More importantly, if you don't know how to serve people with your email list. And when you do that, you no longer have to sell. You actually have to turn sales away by using your own audience, your lifers, to help you develop your next product. The same way I've done with my beta diet test. Do you know, we only want to take 1,000 people, just 1,000 people through that. I offered it at $29.99. We shut sales down. People passed the link around. People sent us videos begging to be able to become customers because they wanted to be a part of the process. It's so much more powerful. It's so much more accurate. It's so much more direct when you let your customers help you create your products. I will teach you everything I know about doing beta tests. Beta testing makes you money. Now, most Fortune 500 companies will hire experts to do focus groups and beta tests. I'm going to teach you everything that they do except one better than that. You'll actually charge for your beta test, your focus group, and you'll produce a better product with evangelists co-creating it with you. Those evangelists are your lifers. I will teach you that formula. It's a formula. And that's really important because in that you may develop your big product or you may develop yet another baby offer. How do you know what you should offer as a baby offer? I'll teach you how to brainstorm it. We will literally walk through the process. It's a questionnaire. If I'm just talking about this, like right now, a lot of the stuff I'm doing it's resonating with you and you're nodding and you're excited about this, but you couldn't explain it back to your business partner or your spouse. You couldn't because we're not walking you through the process as it relates to you, your business, the action you need to take. But inside the academy, that's what we do. You'll actually hand write out the answers to each question so that once you're done, you have a formula that tells you your next step. Like right now, you're really inspired and you're excited, but a lot of this has been just to spark creativity and you might not know what action steps to take next. Well, I'll tell you, the only action step you need to take next is to click Get Started Today. That's the action step. Because from there, I will walk you through not just what to do, because that's what we've been talking about today. Frankly, today I've talked about what to do, but you need to know how to do that and in what order. And that's what we do inside this academy. I want you to have this knowledge. I want you to just realize they're just steps. It's not as big as you're making it out to be. You've got to stop worrying so much you're going to mess this up. Because I know right now that if you're still watching me right now, you know this works. The only question you have is, will you do it? Will you mess this up? And I'm telling you, if you can follow simple instructions, really simple instructions, you can't mess this up. I'm telling you that in fact, even if you mess it up, you'll still make money because you've got to start. I'm going to encourage you to mess things up. I'm going to encourage you to throw things at the wall and just see what happens. I'm going to force you to put stuff out before you're ready to put it out. Because the people who get paralyzed by perfection never, ever can fix what it is they're working on because they never put it out. Perfection doesn't work inside MIA, and I'm here to keep you accountable, to hold your feet to the fire, and so are your fellow classmates. That's what we do, you know, and it's a fun process. It's one that I'm going to ask you to devote some time to, but to know that it's always there for you, because life does get in the way. But I want to make it something that you realize, even if that voice inside of you is speaking loudly, the self-doubt voice, the one that's like, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my husband, or I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my business partner. I want to make that easier for you, and that's why you can join today. If we still have spaces available, you will click the button below this video. It says Get Started Today. It's an orange button. It's below this video. You have to close the video to see it. And as soon as you do that, you can get started, and you can save a lot of money by doing a one-time payment of $19.97. But if you're like most people, who you don't have that money laying around and that's what's stressing you out, well then make a payment. One payment of $347. You'll make 6 in total, 1 a month. And you start, and just start learning and start changing. Start. Take that first step. You've got a money-back guarantee, my money-back guarantee. You start going through these lessons and you're like, this isn't for me. I'm in over my head, or I just don't have the time. Fine, then return it. But at least you started. At least you know for yourself. Once you do that, though, I think you're going to see that there's so much education at your fingertips that's constantly updating that you would be a fool to return it. And I will tell you that right now. You can do so, no questions asked, but mark my words, you're going to kick yourself. It happens all the time. I got Twitter this morning from someone that said, I had a major health scare and I'm so bummed that I returned it because I knew there was lifetime access. I just got nervous and I could kick myself because I'm going to buy it again this year. But I've been well for a while and I could have been learning this entire time. It doesn't go away. And not only is it the Marketing Impact Academy, I'm giving you $15,000 worth of bonuses. And we'll never make this bonus available in this way. Again, I can tell you that. We will never make this bonus available to you where you will receive everything we've offered for those of you who take action today, including immediate access to my Instagram Impact Academy. It teaches you everything you need to know, constantly being updated with content on how to go live, how to use Instagram stories, how to drive traffic directly from your Instagram to your website. I'll teach you how to start your own podcast, how I do that using a live video so it doesn't take up more time, because the last thing you have at the moment is time. I'm going to teach you how to save time. And I'll actually walk you through the ScreenFlow where you learn how to take your audio. I'll walk you through it. You don't have to figure it out. I told you, I'm not going to just tell you what to do. I'm going to show you how. Why do I do that? Because I bought all these programs. I was like, oh, cool. They say to do this, 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 and this. And I'm like, but how do you do that? How do you connect your shopping cart? What do I need for a shopping cart? How do I know what I need to even open up an account to get an email provider? We go so basic. And if you already know that stuff, great, you can skip it. But most people don't. Most people don't know what they need to just get a free account for an email provider. So I walk you through it. Very, very basic. You'll know how to start your own podcast. I'll give you, that's a $200 bonus. I'm giving you a $200 bonus with Instagram Impact. I'm giving you 2014, 15, 16, and 17, 4 years worth of our past live Marketing Impact Academy events. 4 years worth of content there for you as if you were in those seats. That is a $10,000 bonus. People buy tickets to this event at $2,000 a piece. Our live events are epic. You ask any speaker who's ever come to one of our events, they're like, what was that? That was so fun. Ask any of the people who actually attend and they'll say, I got work done. It's not just inspirational, motivational, great ideas that leave you with a headache and overwhelmed that you have so many more things you should be doing. I don't do seminars that way because I don't like seminars like that. You sit in the seats, you fill out the forms, you go to the websites, you do the work while you're there so that you don't run into headaches when you're home and like, okay, well, this seems so easy in that person's slide presentation, but it's not so easy in real life. No, you do it real life in your seats. That's the cornerstone of our events, and other people don't do that. But I believe rather than overwhelming people with information, let's get people to take action. You know, and so I'm going to give you 2 tickets to our live event this year. That's a $4,000 bonus. And I want to see you there. And I want someone who's just as excited about you for this stuff sitting right there next to you. And you're going to have an amazing time. We'll get up and we'll dance. But most importantly, we will get work done. All those bonuses are available to you, all of them. But I think perhaps one of the most valuable bonuses, I can't put a price on, but I think it's priceless, and that is our community. It's like being in a mastermind, you know, and I myself have spent up to $100,000 to be in masterminds with people who aren't nearly as created or as invested as the people inside this community. So when I talk about doing beta tests and, you know, trying to get feedback on pricing and naming and words, that happens inside our online community. That's not just your social media. Of course, it can be, but some people don't even have any social media followers. I mean, that's not uncommon. So then where are you going to get this feedback? Inside our community. And there aren't any other programs that offer that. And we don't waste time with, you know, people jumping all over social. It's in one small, tight-knit community. And that's where we do our work. And that's where you can go back. You didn't figure, you give it a try, it doesn't work out just right, you go back, you do it again, and it gets better. And anything that I tell you you need to do, I'm also going to show you how to do it. How? Because I know that you're resourceful and you want to figure these things out for yourself. And I want to make sure you do them in the right order, at the right time, and that you save time and money. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. I want you to start. That's all that you have to do, is start. And you've got to believe in yourself that it's not something you wait another year for. It doesn't matter what your business is. Don't ask that question anymore, because that question just means that you don't believe you've got what it takes. Because if you own a business, the Marketing Impact Academy is for you. Whether your business is something where you're treating people in person, or you're offering a product that lots of other people offer, you're in a multi-level marketing organization, or you're a real estate agent, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or a stay-at-home mom who's just trying to figure out a way to help pay some bills. All of these things can be learned on your time, at your convenience, and I want to save you the time and money to do it. Today's the moment. Now is the moment. So I want to thank you for spending this much time with me, and I want to also congratulate you, because I know you're going to do this. And I'm really excited to get started with you. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting moment. We're going to look back on this together and go, wow. And I can't wait to share your story next year. Right now, I want to share with you one of my favorites. This is Greg, and his story is unbelievable. And I think it's really powerful, especially for those of you who have wondered if this would benefit your in-person business. And I'm going to sign off now. When you click X on that button, you click the orange button below, and that's where you'll go ahead and get started. Remember, I need your best email address, because that's how I'll get you right into the Academy. And I'm going to head over there right now to say hello and congratulate all of our new Academy students. So I'll see you inside the Academy. Thanks, guys.
I've had a physical therapy business for 12 years. And you know what? Marketing the way that I marketed my physical therapy business, I just didn't do it the way that you do it today. I just was doing things wrong. The way that I was doing it before is I would have to go out and market to physicians or market to community events to acquire a patient. I mean, I can only go to so many community events. I can only visit so many physicians. I had just released a few online courses, and they didn't go as good as what I thought they should have gone. I knew that my course was what people needed, but I didn't have the right steps in order to get people to become a customer of mine. I didn't even know who my customer really was. I was trying to cater to too many people. From when I started Marketing Impact Academy, I made back my investment in 5 weeks. In 8 months, Marketing Impact Academy have done what it took me 6 years to do in my physical therapy business. 7 months in a row, we've hit records. I just did what she said. That's it. It has met my expectations and more. She teaches you the proper steps. This course taught me how to basically develop the right steps from start to finish. I don't take courses from people. This is the first online course I've ever taken I was skeptical. I was nervous, but I said, you know what? If anybody's gonna teach me, I know she won't leave anything out. So I said, let me go for it. So yes, I had to take a risk, but she delivered. There are a few things that create successful business. You can't change this. People can teach you theory and teach you cool marketing strategies, but they might not teach you systems, so you really can't duplicate it. You know, you can also be taught systems, but it might not be current stuff. You get everything in this. You get current stuff and you get the proper systems. You can't lose. You just have to have faith. You really do. You just have to have faith that this person is gonna give you the right steps. And she does. You're not gonna learn this stuff in business school. I mean, I just don't know, I don't know how you're gonna learn it. You're gonna learn it any other way. If you do it in the pattern that she shows you, you can do the same exact thing that it took me 5 years to do. Do you want a mediocre business or do you want a great business? Do you want a great business or do you want to have the premier business? Well, if you want a mediocre business, then get mediocre training. If you want a good to great business, then get good to great training. But if you want a premier business, then get premier training. Marketing Impact Academy is premier training.
For the past 9 years, I've been in the network marketing field. Not something that I ever thought I would do. I was a 3-time college dropout. I had no business experience and kind of stumbled my way into this industry. Before I got involved in business, I really wasn't excited about much. Like, life had become very mundane. Day after day, just to survive. I wasn't very confident. I was really bitter. I had a lot of excuses and blamed other people for why I wasn't where I wanted to be in life, whether it was in other ventures or where I wanted to be financially or physically. It was always someone else's fault. And once I was introduced to this lifestyle and this entrepreneurial spirit was born inside of me, then this confidence was built up and I learned how to overcome these excuses and realized that if something was gonna happen, it was up to me, it wasn't somebody else's fault. All of a sudden, I felt like a clone of thousands of other people posting the same things on social media, saying the same things, and so I was one of many instead of being the one in many, and that was the goal. How do I stand out in a noisy marketplace? How am I not just another person marketing a product that thousands of other people are marketing? How do I make my brand stand out? What I realized is I needed to educate myself outside of what the company offered. Some other professional that could teach me how to market myself. Not the company, not the product, but how I could market me and my individual story better. When I was introduced to Marketing Impact Academy, I had already been following Chalene for a while. So now I got to peek inside her brain and learn how she did what she did. I signed up immediately. Just within those first few modules, I saw a shift in my business. I used to be ashamed of my story, like this 100-pound overweight kid, 3-time college dropout, living at home with his parents in his early 20s. Who's gonna wanna do business with me? And Chalene showed me through Marketing Impact Academy how that story was gonna connect with other people, and that's why people would wanna do business with me specifically. Since implementing what I've learned in Marketing Impact Academy, not only have I learned how to market myself in a noisy world, but she's also showed me how to reach more people in less time. When I was trying to build my business, I was burning the candles at 8 ends. And I love my wife and I love my kids, but there would be times that I would be answering messages from 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight, and all of a sudden it was like I was an on-call ER doctor. And I set up my business to get freedom, and I literally was building a prison for myself. The danger of our business is there's a lot of one-on-one, old school marketing. But by plugging into Marketing Impact Academy, I've learned how to really implement a one-to-many model. And by doing so, I'm reaching more people, I'm changing more lives, I'm training people faster. It's just completely changed my lifestyle and my business. Since plugging into Marketing Impact Academy, we've tripled our business. I can unplug from my business without it impacting my finances because of the systems that I've learned in Marketing Impact Academy. You know what I find really funny is that people will go to business school, take tens of thousands of dollars of loans out to learn theory. Yet somebody's on the fence about investing in something like Marketing Impact Academy. This market is changing faster than ever, but if you're plugged into something like Marketing Impact Academy, where it gets updated As these new technologies are coming out, you're ahead of the curve. And if you can be first somewhere, you win. You could have an online service, you could have a brick and mortar, a local business. I took the principles of it and I executed in my world. Even if you don't have a business yet, by going through the exercises and the modules, you'll realize you're an expert at something that you don't even realize you're an expert at. You've stumbled upon this video, you're watching this because you're looking for something more, and something in your gut is saying, I have a bigger calling, because I was in the exact same place. Just look at my pedigree. I didn't have a big resume of success. I'm not a big tech guy. I don't know how to code. I'm none of those things. Marketing Impact Academy is paint by numbers. If you can count, you can do this. You can look at things as fear or as an opportunity. I understand when people are on the fence. They're scared of the unknown. I've been on both sides of that fence. It's really sweet on this side. So your next step is to pull the trigger, jump in, learn, and start impacting those people you're supposed to impact.